What a day. What a day. The GOAT, Caitlin Clark, made her return to the basketball floor. And she didn't just come back to play, she came back to expose something the WNBA has been desperately trying to keep quiet. Caitlin Clark just called out some of the biggest names in women's basketball for playing a dangerous game with the league's future, and the names she targeted: Napheesa Collier, Breanna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, the Unrivaled co-founders. The same players sitting on the WNBA board while simultaneously building a competing league. Caitlin said what needed to be said: stop playing games. We need to play WNBA basketball. This isn't about practice clips going viral. This is about conflicts of interest that could tear the league apart, and Caitlin Clark just became the first player brave enough to say it out loud. The WNBA has a problem. Several of its most prominent players are sitting on the league's board of governors while simultaneously funding, and promoting a competing 3-on-3 league called Unrivaled. That's not strategy, that's compromise. And Caitlin Clark just called it exactly what it is: conflict of interest. When you're making decisions for the WNBA while building something designed to compete with it, whose interests are you really protecting? Caitlin's message was crystal clear. These board members need to focus on WNBA basketball, not side projects that pull attention, revenue, and energy away from the league that built their platforms in the first place. If you believe the story behind the story matters, if you think someone needed to finally say this out loud, smash that like button right now. It tells us you're paying attention to what's really happening in this league, so let's connect the dots. Unrivaled is a new 3-on-3 basketball league launching in early 2025. Sounds exciting, right? Except it's being co-founded by Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier, two players who also serve on the WNBA's Board of Governors. They're literally sitting in WNBA boardrooms making decisions about the league's future while simultaneously pouring resources into a competing product, and they're not alone. Kelsey Plum, another Unrivaled co-founder, has deep ties to the WNBA infrastructure. Then there's the partnership with Project B, another alternative league venture that's pulled WNBA stars into orbit. Now, the WNBA will tell you these leagues are complementary, that they give players more opportunities during the off-season, that they expand the women's basketball ecosystem. But here's what they won't tell you. Every dollar spent marketing Unrivaled is a dollar not spent marketing the WNBA. Every minute of media attention these alternative leagues receive dilutes the WNBA's brand. Every fan drawn to these experimental formats is potentially a fan distracted from the league that matters most. And when the people making those decisions are the same people sitting on the WNBA board, that's not synergy, that's sabotage. Let's be clear about what board membership means. These aren't ceremonial positions. Board members influence scheduling, media deals, revenue distribution, player compensation, and league expansion. They have access to confidential strategic information. They know what the WNBA is planning before the public does. And now imagine those same people using that information to position their competing league. Imagine them knowing the WNBA's weaknesses and exploiting them. Imagine them steering WNBA decisions in ways that benefit their side projects. You don't have to imagine. It's happening right now. Napheesa Collier has been particularly vocal about using her WNBA platform to promote Unrivaled. She name-drops Caitlin Clark whenever it's convenient to generate buzz. She leverages her WNBA credibility to build legitimacy for her competing venture. And all the while, she's sitting in WNBA board meetings, supposedly advocating for the league's best interests. Breanna Stewart does the same thing. Uses her championship pedigree and WNBA influence to launch something that directly competes for attention, talent, and resources. This isn't about players having options. This is about players having power and using it in ways that create fundamental conflicts of loyalty. And here's where it gets even messier. The WNBA is in a critical growth phase. The league just secured a historic new media deal. Expansion teams are being discussed. Player salaries are finally starting to rise. This is the moment when focus matters most. This is when the league needs its most influential voices completely aligned with its mission. Instead, some of those voices are building exit strategies. They're hedging their bets. They're saying, yes, we'll help grow the WNBA, but we're also going to build something that could replace it if things don't go our way. That's not leadership. That's insurance. And Caitlin Clark just called it out. Now, let's talk about why this matters even more with Caitlin specifically. She's the biggest draw in women's basketball. Her presence broke attendance records. Her games generated unprecedented television ratings. She brought millions of new fans to the WNBA. And what did the league do with that momentum? They watched as board members with conflicts of interest failed to capitalize on it. They watched as alternative leagues tried to poach the attention Caitlin generated. They watched as the very people supposed to protect the WNBA's interests pursued personal projects instead. Caitlin sees it. Fans see it. And now she's saying it. Stop playing games. If you want people to watch us play, let us play WNBA basketball. Not 3-on-3 experiments. Not off-season exhibitions. Not vanity projects disguised as progress. WNBA basketball. The league that built this platform, the league that deserves undivided attention from its leadership. Sources close to Team USA practice sessions say Caitlin's comments sent shockwaves through the gym. Conversations stopped. Smiles disappeared. Because when someone finally says the quiet part out loud, there's no pretending anymore. The conflicts are real. The tensions are real. And the consequences could reshape the league's future. This wasn't just about practice footage, that viral clip showing Caitlin dominating in closed-door workouts. That was her proving a point. She's locked in, she's focused, she's standing on business. While board members play politics and build side ventures, Caitlin is reminding everyone what actually matters: the game, the league, the fans who show up to watch WNBA basketball, not corporate experiments. And that clip spread everywhere because it represented something bigger than skill. It represented commitment. When Caitlin steps on that court, whether it's a game or practice, she's all in. No distractions, no side projects, no conflicts of interest, just pure basketball excellence. That's the standard she's holding everyone else to, and some people aren't measuring up. Here's what makes this moment so powerful. Caitlin didn't wait for permission. She didn't go through official channels. She didn't soften the message with political language. She just said it. Called out the board members by their roles, by their conflicts, by their compromises. And she did it while showing up to practice, ready to dominate. That's what standing on business looks like. The internet immediately caught fire. Fans who have been suspicious for months suddenly had confirmation. The WNBA's power structure isn't just complicated. It's compromised. And the players who should be advocating loudest for the league's interests are the same ones building competing alternatives. You were onto something when you noticed these patterns. You weren't being paranoid. You were paying attention. Drop a comment right now and tell us what you think about these board conflicts. Should WNBA governors be allowed to found competing leagues? Is this healthy competition or dangerous sabotage? Your perspective matters because this conversation is just getting started. Let's examine what Unrivaled is actually offering that makes this conflict so stark. The league promises higher salaries, better working conditions, and a compressed schedule that doesn't interfere with WNBA commitments. Sounds reasonable until you realize it's literally using WNBA players' star power to build a product that competes for the same audience, the same sponsors, and the same media attention. It's not complementary, it's cannibalistic. And the timing, Unrivaled launches right as the WNBA is negotiating its future, right as expansion decisions are being made, right as player compensation structures are being reformed. The people with the most information about those negotiations are using that knowledge to position their competing venture. If that's not a conflict of interest, what is? Now, sources close to the situation suggest the tension has been building for months. Multiple WNBA players have privately expressed concerns about board members prioritizing outside projects. But nobody wanted to be the first to say it publicly. Nobody wanted to challenge the established power structure. Nobody except Caitlin Clark. She looked at the situation, recognized the pattern, and said exactly what needed to be said. Ladies on the board assigned to these other leagues. That's compromise. Conflict of interest. Stop playing games. Reading between the lines reveals something even deeper. This isn't just about Unrivaled. It's about Project B. It's about international exhibitions. It's about every venture that pulls WNBA talent and attention in different directions, while board members sit in rooms making decisions that affect all of it. The conflicts multiply, the loyalties fracture, and the league that built this entire platform gets diluted. Many of you have been saying this for weeks. Every time Collier name drops Caitlin to promote Unrivaled, every time Stewart uses her WNBA credibility to legitimize competing ventures, every time board members make decisions that seem to benefit their side projects more than the league itself. You noticed, you questioned, you pushed back. And now Caitlin Clark just validated every concern you've raised. The practice footage that went viral wasn't random. It was deliberate. Caitlin showing up, locked in, dominating in ways that remind everyone why she matters. One dribble, step back, deep three, nothing but net, again and again. Defenders switching, doubling, hesitating. It doesn't matter. She sees everything before it happens. That's not just skill, that's focus, that's commitment. That's what it looks like when someone isn't distracted by side ventures and political games. Coaches started whispering. The mood inside practice shifted instantly, because when one player dominates like that, it forces uncomfortable questions. Who's really leading this team? Who's controlling the pace? Who has the confidence to take over when it matters most? And who's distracted by conflicts that don't belong in a basketball gym? The answers were uncomfortable then. They're even more uncomfortable now. Let's filter out the noise and focus on what this means going forward. Caitlin Clark just drew a line. She's saying the WNBA deserves undivided loyalty from its leadership. She's saying conflicts of interest compromise the league's future. She's saying players and fans deserve better than board members who hedge their bets. And she's saying it while backing it up with the kind of performance that reminds everyone why the WNBA matters in the first place. We're getting into speculation territory, but sources suggest this could force the league to address governance policies. Can board members simultaneously found competing leagues? Should there be disclosure requirements? Should conflicts of interest trigger recusal from certain decisions? These aren't theoretical questions anymore. Caitlin just made them urgent. If these reports are accurate, the WNBA is facing a reckoning, not from external pressure, not from media criticism, from its own biggest star calling out the internal contradictions that threaten everything the league has built. That's leadership, that's courage, that's exactly what the moment required. And here's the most important part. Caitlin didn't do this for headlines. She didn't do it for controversy. She did it because the reporters, the fans, the people who actually care about WNBA basketball deserve to see the league reach its potential. And that can't happen when the people making decisions have divided loyalties. When board members are more focused on building alternatives than strengthening what already exists. When conflicts of interest get treated like business as usual instead of the fundamental problems they actually are. So where does this leave us? Caitlin Clark returns to practice, dominates, goes viral, and exposes conflicts that could reshape the league's power structure. Napheesa Collier, Breanna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, and others now face questions they can't dodge. Are you WNBA board members or Unrivaled founders? Are you committed to this league's success or hedging your bets? Are you standing on business for the WNBA or are you playing games? Caitlin already answered for herself. She showed up. She performed. She spoke truth. She stood on business. Now everyone else has to decide where they stand. Before we go, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell because this story is far from over. The WNBA board will respond. Unrivaled will launch, And Caitlin Clark will keep doing what she does best, playing basketball at a level that makes everyone else raise their game. We'll be here covering every development, every response, every consequence. Next video, we're breaking down what the league's governance structure actually allows and what changes might be coming. You won't want to miss it. This wasn't just a practice session. This was a statement. Caitlin Clark exposing conflicts of interest that compromise the WNBA's future. And she did it while reminding everyone that when you cut through the politics, the side ventures, and the corporate games, what matters most is the basketball. The league, the fans who show up to watch WNBA hoops, straight up and down, CC standing on business, and the league will never be the same.